you see in front of you is a train wreck. It's the motion prepared by Thomas Clare Binger's office to admit Kyle's little fist fight and the Pudgy's Tavern incident as evidence in the upcoming trial. If technical writing had its Chernobyl, this would be it. Now, I've seen worse, but usually those writing samples are crafted by people who are not entrusted to know better, like convicts and middle schoolers. This was produced by a team of lawyers, and while it makes for good entertainment fodder, the underlying serious nature of the manuscript should concern all of us seeking a fair trial for Kyle Rittenhouse. Unfortunately, I can't examine this document just yet. The reason? Well, I was reading it in preparation for my next video when I started clicking on the links and reading the contents of the web pages they cited. Let me show you. See here? Well, when you click on these links and it takes you to the web page, the content in those web pages doesn't support their claims. And that got me wondering, did they pull this crap in the motion to modify Kyle's bond agreement last January? So I downloaded that motion. Let me show you. I looked at the citations, clicked on the links, and holy cow, do we have a lot to discuss. Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With his powerful brainwaves cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnnie Walker Dread to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's the Johnnie Walker Dread Show.
All right. Here is the motion to modify the conditions of bond. This was filed by Binger's office last January. If you recall, they found out about the Pudgy's thing, and they thought they had Kyle this time. He was there drinking with his mother, and he was doing a little hand symbol with some Proud Boys. And so they got together, filed this motion to modify the conditions of the bond. In my opinion, a stupid move, a very unstrategic one. After all, and I claimed this in another video, if I'm the prosecutor, I want the defendant going to bars and getting drunk. I want that defendant hanging out with bad types. I might get evidence that way for the upcoming trial. So what did Binger do? He filed a motion to deny those privileges to Kyle. Now Kyle can't do it. And basically, Binger did the prosecution a huge favor there. There is little doubt that Mark Richards was always going to be concerned that Kyle was going to go out and do something crazy, do something stupid. He's like a young kid. Well, Binger took away those opportunities for the most part. But at any rate, that's a whole nother argument. Okay, now who wrote this? Well, if you go to the bottom, it says it's signed by Jason Zapf. Did he write it? Well, if you're signing it, it's kind of yours. So I think we could target old Jason on this one. Now, I could pick on any of the pages in this document. They're all pretty funny. But this one here is really good. This is page 5, and it begins, "The Proud Boys is organized in local branches and chapters throughout North America." Now, I've taught English at the college level. And one of the things I do is I kind of glance over the citations. And we can take a look at that. We have the Anti-Defamation League, just a web page. Your handy dandy field guide, and that's from Wired magazine. Oh boy, that's not good. Not a primary source. It may not even be a very good secondary source. We have the Southern Poverty Law Center, and they'll generate any kind of idea you want to use if you're going after somebody from the right, but that's okay. We have CNN.com, Forbes, Business Insider, some group called the Center for Public Integrity, Snopes, oh my, Vox Magazine, and Screen Crush. This is not looking good, and it's going to get worse. Let's go ahead and start to read here. The Proud Boys is organized in local branches and chapters throughout North America. And they cite the Anti-Defamation League for this, whatever. I would assume that the FBI would have been a better source for this. We'll let this one slide. Membership in the Proud Boys requires a 4-step gang-like initiation process. And they go on to describe the first stage is taking a loyalty oath. Well, who cares about that? Second, applicant is repeatedly punched. That's of no real consequence. The third stage is getting a Proud Boys tattoo. Who cares? The fourth one is the most interesting. The fourth and final stage is committing an act of violence for the cause. And whoever wrote this provides a citation, number 12. What's important is to look at this first sentence. Membership in the Proud Boys requires a 4-step gang-like initiation process, and that is written as a fact. This is not an opinion. By the way, just because it's a fact doesn't make it correct. It's a factual type sentence, meaning it can be proven or disproven. So let's take a look at footnote number 12. And it starts off with your handy-dandy field guide to the many factions of the far right. This is from Wired magazine. Let's go ahead and click on that. And we can scroll down and they have a little special section on the Proud Boys. One of the things I want to check out here is the tone of the author. Okay, so let's read this. The Proud Boys. The Proud Boys who claim to espouse Western chauvinism are a fratty, white, powery redux of the men's right movement. Clearly, this is not being written as a real serious effort here. This is not a technical document. This is for entertainment. And that means that it's not really that valuable as a source. We'll skip down a little bit further. Less central to their beliefs, but mostly just hilarious. Mostly just hilarious. Again, this is not a serious document. It's entertainment. Their name comes from an Aladdin song called Proud of Your Boy. I don't care. This is what's important. It says here, and if the rumors are true, their initiation proceedings include getting a tattoo and abstaining from masturbation, getting jumped in a ritual that looks a lot like a pile of puppies. Again, not a serious document here. And beating up an anti-fascist. But look, it says, and if rumors are true, they are not making a factual claim. Let's take a look at the other one. This is the Southern Poverty Law Center. I have very little faith in these guys. They're propaganda artists primarily. And in another video, I show you some of the techniques they use for furthering propaganda. But that's not going to be the issue here. Skip down. It says, the Proud Boys reportedly have a 4-step initiation process. It starts with a prospect declaring himself a Proud Boy, suiting up in Fred Perry polo shirts with yellow stripes, similar to those worn by skinheads. No citation. The second degree is a serial beating. Again, no citation. The third degree reported involves adhering to the masturbation regimen and getting a tattoo, and this is cited by a blogger. Since then, a 4th degree has been added to the initiation ritual, brawling with anti-fascists at public rallies. No citation. So if you go back to the original line here, the Proud Boys reportedly have a 4-step initiation process. They are not making a claim that this is factual. Therefore, membership in the Proud Boys requires a 4-step initiation process, and all of this entire paragraph are written as facts with no substantiation. It gets worse. The Proud Boys are often seen wearing clothing with the Proud Boys slogan in yellow and black. Who cares? Along with a symbol of a rooster on a weather vane facing west with the words, "The West is the best." And the writer provides a citation, but then that becomes a problem. You basically have two ideas here. You have one, the Proud Boys are often seen wearing clothing of a certain type, and two, the Proud Boys have this logo with a symbol of a rooster. And the question now becomes, well, which ideas does this citation support? But keep in mind, the citation is outside the period, which means essentially that it's designed to support the entire sentence. Does it? Well, let's take a look at footnote 13. This one has 3 web pages. One is CNN.com, so let's go ahead and open that up. Fred Perry stopped selling polo shirt associated with the Proud Boys. All right, let's go ahead and read this a little bit. Fred Perry said in a statement last week that it stopped selling one of its signature black and yellow shirts in the U.S. a year ago because it had become popular among members of the group. Okay, that's fine. So that first part of the sentence about their apparel is probably true. What about the logo with the rooster? Well, we could find that by doing a little word search. I'll type in rooster, nothing. Weather, and nothing. We do have some substantiation for this first claim. The second claim, we have nothing so far. Let's take a look at the other two. Who are the Proud Boys, the group behind the controversial Portland rally? Well, we already substantiated the apparel claim. What about the rooster deal? Well, all right. We'll just go ahead and do a type of search in here. Rooster, nothing. What about weather vane? W-E, nothing. West is best? Nothing. All right. Let's take a look at this last one. And that is from Business Insider. The FBI has officially declared the Proud Boys a far-right Western chauvinist group with a penchant for street fights as extremist. All right. Now, again, we don't care about the apparel. We want to know about this rooster. So we type in rooster, nothing. What about weather vane? Nothing. Best is west. I'm sorry, west is best. And we get a hit. And all it says, the group describes itself as comprised of, ooh, I don't like that English, Western chauvinists and believe the West is best. But there's no mention of anything about a logo. And there's no substantiation for this claim here at all. I don't really doubt so much that there's this symbol of a rooster on a weather vane facing west with the words, the West is the best. My issue is citing number 13 here as supporting that claim and then not having that in any of the documents that are cited. That's a problem. But this one is a little bit innocuous. The next one is not so innocuous. Additionally, some Proud Boys associated apparel display 6MWE, an acronym meaning 6 million wasn't enough, referring to Jewish Holocaust victims. Now, this is starting to sound a little bit serious here. Essentially, you're labeling the Proud Boys as anti-Semitic. So, we have the citation 14. What does that one tell us? Let's go down. This comes from the Center for Public Integrity. I have no idea who they are. And there's also another article here from Snopes. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Let's go ahead and click on this. All right, the Center for Public Integrity. White male and millennial hate groups tap bro culture to recruit members. Remember, what is this cited for? Let's go back. The fact that some Proud Boys associated apparel display 6MWE. All right. What does it say here? Well, let's do a little word search. 6MWE. 6 M. Oh, nothing. What about Holocaust? Nothing. 6 million was not enough, so the word enough should be in there somewhere. Enough. Nothing. Okay, again, we're trying to verify this Proud Boys apparel displaying the 6MWE. And we went there to the actual citation. And this first one here, the Center for Public Integrity, mentions nothing of the sort. Why was it cited? Don't know. But maybe Snopes will help us. Now, keep in mind, Snopes is even worse than a secondary source. this is garbage, but we'll go ahead and give them a little benefit of the doubt for the time being. And so here's the headline. Is 6MWE an anti-Semitic Proud Boys slogan? Keep in mind, it's a question posed to Snopes, and it's specific to the Proud Boys. It says right below here, a Proud Boy wearing a shirt with the initialism 6MWE combined with a fascist symbol was seen in D.C. protesting the election of Joe Biden. Whoa, wait a minute now. This is a lot different than we were led to believe. If you go back to the original document, it stated, additionally, some Proud Boys associated apparel display 6MWE. But all it says here is that a Proud Boy was wearing a shirt with the initialism 6MWE. That's a little bit different. Let's read down further. The claim, 6MWE stands for 6 million, wasn't enough. A reference to the 6 million Jews murdered during the Holocaust. And it's labeled as true, but that is not the same as the original question. The original question was specific to the Proud Boys. It says, is 6MWE an anti-Semitic Proud Boys slogan? They mark it as true, but the claim has changed. And the claim is only about what 6MWE means. Let's read on a little bit further. So they talk a little bit about the setting for this, the anti-Trump and the pro-Trump stuff and the Black Lives Matter. And it says, one photo that drew a great deal of online attention highlighted a man wearing a black and yellow t-shirt with an illustration of an eagle and the initialism 6MWE. As has been alleged on Twitter, this purportedly stands for 6 million wasn't enough, a suggestion that not enough Jews were murdered during the Holocaust. And there's one dude wearing that shirt. This interpretation and its association with the Proud Boys is accurate. Okay, there's a claim. Let's see how they substantiate that. Myriad online stores have sold and continue to sell these shirts. These pages explicitly describe the shirts as 6 million wasn't enough, and often include the word proud in their title description as well. At no point does the advertisement show the words Proud Boys. It just says proud. And notice the claim. As such, the claim that 6MWE stands for 6 million wasn't enough is true. Now let's go back. It states, additionally, some Proud Boys associated apparel display 6MWE, an acronym meaning 6 million wasn't enough, referring to Jewish Holocaust victims. Citation 14 really only addresses what's in the parentheses, that the acronym means 6 million wasn't enough. The association with Proud Boys is really thin. Does that mean that this statement is false? No, it's unsupported. It's unsubstantiated. Now, if the Proud Boys were selling these shirts, that would mean something. I have just a real problem with using Snopes as a source for anything, because Snopes is going to have to rely on other sources to justify his claims. Why are you not using those sources? Why are you using Snopes? It's a really, really bad habit. If you're writing serious papers, you just really don't want to do that. And that's especially true for that PolitiFact crap. All right, let's go on here. The name Proud Boys comes from the song Proud of Your Boy, originally written by Howard Ashman and Alan Menken, and I don't care. Who cares? Why are you forcing the judge to read this? It's not relevant. If it was written by Hanna-Barbera, would that make a difference? And by the way, where are they getting this? From Vox magazine. The Proud Boys explained. Wired magazine actually has a better reputation than Vox. Again, this is not a primary source. It's a secondary source, and these are written primarily for entertainment. They are not serious news items. While not included in the movie, the song was included in the stage musical adaptation beginning in 2011, and they cited a source. Nobody cares. Really, I mean, you're going to cite that source as if Judge Schroeder is like, man, I really need to know if this is factually correct or not. I better check this thing out. And by the way, Take a look at the link. 10 things you didn't know about Disney's Aladdin. Screen crush. Let's take a look at that. This is one of those clickbait pages, right? Take a look. 10 things you didn't know about Disney's Aladdin. Number 1, it featured a ton of deleted characters. 2, and a ton of deleted songs. And a whole deleted script. It caused a rift between Robin Williams and Disney. These are these web pages that have things like 5 things you didn't know about Tom Cruise. They cited this to support a claim in a legal document. Let that sink in. So in the end, what you have is a lot of filler. Most of this page isn't relevant, and frankly is going to bore the judge to beat hell. Now, you may be wondering, well, it was successful, right? It was uncontested. Again, as I said before, Kyle's attorney is all in favor of these modified bail agreements. He doesn't want his client out there drinking. He doesn't want his client out there hanging out with baddies. And therefore, this was what he was looking for. He's not going to disagree with this. So the judge presented this to him, and Kyle's attorney, Mark Richards, said, hey, we're good with it. Sure, put it in there. So terrible citations, a lot of it very misleading. Some of it just doesn't even have the content that it claims to have in the main text body. This is crap. And if you were an English teacher, you'd give this an F in terms of persuasiveness. You might give it a C or a B in terms of sentence structure or paragraph structure or something like that. But in terms of persuasiveness and accuracy and precision, F. I'm losing faith in the legal system. While I always had a healthy distrust of lawyers, I mean, who doesn't? I always figured that they were at least highly educated. Now, after months of dealing with Binger and his comrades, I'm not so sure. Like my video, subscribe to my channel.